Last week, a customer showed me his invoice from another shop. 90-minute visit, $430 in recommended services. I counted 3 that his car didn't need, and 1 that could have actually damaged his transmission. I've owned this shop for over 20 years. I know exactly how the upsell game works because I've watched it from the inside. And today I'm going to show you the 5 services that get pushed the hardest. Not because your car needs them, but because they're easy money. Here's the thing though, I'm not going to tell you to argue with anyone. I'm going to give you one tool that makes the whole conversation simple. And at the end, 3 sentences you can say at the counter that shut down the pressure without making it weird. Let's start with the one I see most often. I see this one a lot. You go in for a normal oil change and they offer an engine oil flush. They'll pour in a chemical cleaner, let it run a bit, then drain it. Sounds sensible. Costs anywhere from $30 to a couple hundred, depending on how confident they say it. Here's the quick reality check. Open your owner's manual. In basically every car I work on, an oil flush isn't listed as routine maintenance. And a couple manufacturers like GM and Hyundai have even warned that the wrong flush additives can mess with certain seals. The risk is simple. If an older or high mileage engine has sludge and varnish, a strong solvent can loosen a bunch of it at once. That junk can end up clogging the oil pickup or small oil passages, and then you're starving the engine of oil. Also, I've seen mystery leaks start right after a flush because the chemicals can aggravate tired seals and gaskets. And sometimes that sludge was hiding wear, so once it's gone, leaks show up fast. Uncomfortable truth. If it genuinely needs a flush, it probably needed regular oil changes for years. A flush doesn't undo neglect. Sometimes it just finishes the job. What I'd do instead? Use the correct spec oil and a decent filter, follow the manual's interval, use the severe service schedule if you do lots of short trips or idling, and if you suspect sludge, do 2 or 3 shorter interval oil changes. Modern oils already have detergents. Slow and steady cleaning is usually the safer play. The next one I see on invoices all the time is fuel system clean, injector cleaning, sometimes intake cleaning, usually pitched every 15 to 30,000 miles as preventative. And depending on where you go, that can be $50 or it can be 300 and change. Here's my quick reality check. Most owners' manuals don't list routine injector cleaning as normal maintenance, so I treat it like this. What's the problem we're actually fixing? If your car has a rough idle, misfires, sputters, stalls, feels flat on acceleration, or your MPG suddenly drops, then yeah, we might have something worth chasing. But if it starts fine and runs smooth, you're mostly buying peace of mind. Also, fuel already has detergents in it. Where people get into trouble is cheap fuel all the time. AAA did a test and found non-top tier gas left something like 19 times more deposits. Top tier is stuff like Shell, Chevron, Exxon, Costco, loads of brands. One twist, GDI engines. They're everywhere now. Fuel doesn't wash the back of the intake valves, so carbon builds up there. A standard injector clean often won't touch it. Had a buddy bring his Hyundai over last month, swore he'd been getting injector cleans every year, still ran like garbage. Took a look inside and the valves looked like a chimney. Wrong service entirely. Best prevention? Run top tier consistently, and if you want a low risk step, an occasional reputable bottle additive is usually a lot cheaper than a $200 pour-in service. Air filters are the easiest sell in the shop because you can't really feel a dirty filter on the drive home, and for them it's quick money. I've seen cabin filters that cost a shop under $5 in bulk get rung up for $40, $60, even $80. Here's the calm reality check. Most owner's manuals don't say replace every visit. Engine air filters are often somewhere around 15 to 45,000 miles. Cabin filters are commonly 15 to 30,000 or every 1 to 3 years. Depends where you live and how you drive. And you can verify it in about 2 minutes. Engine filter. Pop the box open, pull it out, hold it up to a light. If it's not packed solid and you can still see light through it, it's usually not urgent. Cabin filters usually behind the glove box. Most cars take 10-15 minutes with no special tools. Money-wise, this is where people overpay. 60 to 90 installed versus 15 to 30 if you do it yourself. Simple rule, replace based on condition and your environment. Dusty roads, construction, wildfire smoke, not just because someone says it's dirty without showing you. Coolant flushes are one of those things that get sold like a yearly vitamin. You'll go in for an oil change and suddenly it's, we really recommend a coolant flush today. And it's not cheap either, anywhere from $100 to $400 depending on where you are. Here's the reality check. On a lot of modern cars, the factory coolant is designed to last a long time. I'm talking 5 to 10 years or roughly 100 to 150,000 miles. Toyota's pink coolant, for example, is often 10 years or 100,000 for the first change. Honda's long life coolant is similar, around 10 years, about 120,000 in normal use. That's straight out of the maintenance schedule, not my opinion. And the hidden problem with doing it early is this. Every time you open that system up, you create opportunities for mistakes. Wrong coolant, air trapped in the system, a hose clamp that gets bumped and starts a leak, or just contamination. My dad taught me that one the hard way. When I took over the shop, one of our guys put the wrong coolant in a customer's BMW. Head gasket was gone within 6 months. I still think about that. So what should you do instead? Check the level, keep an eye on the condition, fix real leaks or overheating issues, and change the coolant when your owner's manual says to, using the correct type. And I'm genuinely curious, how many of you have been told you need a coolant flush way before your manual says so? Tell me in the comments what mileage they said and what they tried to charge you. Let's see how creative it gets. Alright, transmission flushes are one of those services that sound sensible at the counter, but the details matter. Here's the trap. A drain and fill is the gentle one. It swaps out maybe 30 to 50% of the fluid, usually runs about 80 to 150 bucks, and it's what a lot of manufacturers actually describe. A machine flush tries to push out nearly all the old fluid, more like 150 to 400, and it's a lot more aggressive. Now, quick reality check. Honda and Toyota generally point you toward a drain and fill, not a flush. GM has had cases where using a flush machine can cause warranty problems. And if someone tells you the fluid is lifetime, just remember, sometimes that means lifetime of the warranty, not forever. Even BMW has backed away from that wording. Where this goes wrong is high mileage, unknown history. That flush can stir up debris or wash away material the worn clutches were sort of relying on. Then you get slipping, harsh shifts, and suddenly you're staring at a $2,900 to $7,100 transmission job. So here's my rule. If it's been maintained, follow the manual with the correct fluid. If it's past 100K and you don't know the history, I'd usually skip a first-time power flush and do staged drain and fills instead. And if it's already slipping, a flush isn't a fix. It's a coin flip you still pay for. And look, if this just saved you from a $4,000 mistake, hit subscribe. A like helps this reach the people who are about to say, sure, go ahead, at the counter. Next, I'll tell you exactly what to say when they try to upsell you. Here's the bit nobody teaches you. Half the battle isn't what your car needs, it's what you say at the counter. Most people I meet don't fully trust repair shops, and honestly, I get why. The #1 complaint is, they recommended stuff I didn't need. And to be fair, a lot of service advisors are paid partly on what they sell. That's the system. Doesn't always mean they're trying to scam you, but it does mean you've got to stay in the driver's seat. So here are 3 calm phrases that shut down the upsell without starting a fight. First one, the rule book. Can you show me where this is listed in my owner's manual maintenance schedule for my mileage or time? Second one, the symptom gate. What specific problem is this meant to fix? And what symptoms would I notice if I actually needed it? Third one, buy time. Let's do today's scheduled service. Print me the estimate for anything extra, and I'll decide after I review the manual. And here's the closer. A good shop won't get defensive when you ask that stuff. I tell my own guys this all the time. Questions are a good sign. Had a lady last week ask me to show her the manual interval for brake fluid. I showed her, she said thanks, we moved on. That's how it should work. By the way, I've put a couple extra one-liners in the description. One for show me the old filter, and one for what's the downside if I wait? That one's gold.